All right, everybody, welcome to our regular live stream here. This is a co-stream between Brian White at Futuraza and Nick Gibbs at Investing Against the Grain. And people are going to hate me because of my title. I said suddenly Tesla's growth is exploding. Sure, it's not growth, but we are in the second book. Things are happening. We've got RoboTaxi expanding. You got this new Model Y six-seater in China. We got Tesla entering into India. These are just some of the stories we'll cover today. Welcome, both of you. How are you doing? You guys mad at me and my title?
No, I mean, you got to play the game. You got to win. I on the live streams, I do very mild titles, but with, the same huge news every week, because it is always huge news. And it doesn't serve me the best. I should work on it.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to point out is that, things have happened. We have RoboTaxi. It's launched. Oh no, but it's a small geofence. Oh no, they're really just, I'll have to wait and see. Oh, they've got a new Model 6-seater. It's just another variant of the Model Y. They've just entered India, but it's just 1,000 cars or so that will be sold. It's going to be sold at $70,000. So yeah, things start, right? Grok is in the car now. Grok is in the car now. But oh no, it's not yet really controlling any of the controls. It's just there to talk to. I can do that with my phone. Yes, all these things are true, but they're also big, significant moves. Let's start off with a six-seater. This is the new six-seater Model Y. It is larger than the existing Model Y. It's not the more affordable vehicle, guys. This is the more expensive vehicle, but it's now introduced. What are your thoughts on this? It's priced at $56,000, which is, I think, $13,000 more than the regular Model Y is being sold in China. But it's got new wheels, new seats, modified C-pillar design, new spoiler, and it's a longer three-row SUV. This, a nice little rendering here of what that could look like. Lots more space for everybody to fit in. What's your thinking, guys?
I like the school bus layout there that they've got. That looks fun. No, you do need the extra 7 inches. I've got the third row Model Y. It is, to call it tight would be very generous. It is not meant for adult humans in that third row, unless they're under 5'4"-ish. So that's not the most versatile use. I can see why it was so hard to spot from the drone footage. It would look identical from the sky. The only giveaway is that back quarter window is much smaller on the traditional one than on the new one. But I think they did a great job of maintaining the lines. And I think the pricing is right. 13,000 is a tremendous premium. That's too much. Or is it? We won't know until we start to see what sales are. And if it is too much, they'll dial it back a bit. I don't think it costs them 13,000 more to make. I think it's just an opportunity to make more profit, a higher margin for people who really want this. And certainly there will be those early adopters who get it right away because this is the one they've always wanted. Let them pay the full 13,000 markup and let everyone else enjoy it later on. So yeah, I think this is good. I think this is a good idea. I hope they release it more widely. I'm looking forward to seeing how much bigger the battery is, how much longer the range is. That'll be make for some interesting possibilities, I suppose. And my thought is, it is the more affordable Model X. So it's just,
yeah, I love that joke. Yeah. It is more affordable. It's more affordable than the X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much thoughts on this, to be honest. That I don't know how big of a market there is for the 6-seater. Maybe there's a big one, maybe there's not. I have no opinion on that. I trust that Tesla didn't do this for no reason. What I find more interesting is all the spy videos we're seeing. We kept seeing comments about, oh, this is a shorter Model Y, it's a shorter Model Y, and then, well, this one's actually 7 inches bigger. But maybe that's only for China. Maybe it's only a China vehicle. And maybe in the States, we are going to see a smaller one. So I don't know. I think for me, this just opens up more questions. And again, I'm not that excited about it. I really don't care. I'm more excited about the RoboTaxi expansion. Yeah. Maybe I'm the one that's disconnected from reality because the stock seems to like the new vehicle. I could care less. I care about when are we going to get into Arizona? When are we going to get into California? When are we going to see it all the way down to Kyle, Texas, up to Round Rock? Like that's what I care about. So
So
maybe I'm
you're
wrong.
not out in left field. You're not wrong. You and I are in different markets. You live and work in places that are more likely to get a RoboTaxi in the near future. I'm not. Until it's real wide, it's not going to benefit me anywhere except maybe airports. But I have 4 kids. So you and I have different situations and we're excited about different things.
I almost have one.
I mean,
Almost have one. Yeah, it's coming.
that's a start. That's a start. Pretty good, Gibbs, but
Long way to go, dude. So yes, I know, but let's break it down a little bit here, right? So I think we are expecting multiple vehicles coming from Tesla, and this is one of just a normal variant of the Model Y, but then there will be the more affordable vehicles that will come as well. This one is going to it's going to be a moneymaker for Tesla, right? Because it's built on the same production line. It's on a Model Y. They know how to build this. It shares all the same parts, and it's priced a lot higher. I think they're going to make a lot more money on this. And I think that this is also, if you care about RoboTaxi, this is a version of RoboTaxi that's going to be available that you can use that's got 6 seaters, lots of space. So yes, it's not going to be a needle mover for sales per se or for anything else. But yeah, I do expect it to be sold everywhere. But it came and they announced it. That's what happened this morning. So that's something we just need to talk about.
Why do you think they announced it now if it's going to launch in fall? Or I guess, I don't know. I live in Florida. So for me, my perception of fall actually starts like August, September, just because you start school again in August. So in my mind, like that's fall. But why, like, what's classified as fall here? And
well, this is China. So I don't, that's a very good question. I imagine there can be cultural differences of when fall starts and ends.
Yeah.
So
I mean, normally it's like, I think in the States, at least I mean, obviously you can talk about like summer solstice and all that, but in general, kids go back to school in the fall after summer break is over. Right. So I'm just curious, like even putting that aside, why announce it now if it's not ready to get going for another couple months potentially?
Yeah, in the Midwest, I know parts of the Midwest where fall is 9.5 days in September.
And then winter.
Yeah, I think it's a way of saying coming soon without specifying.
Do you think it was maybe because it was kind of leaked already? And they're like, let's lean into it.
I don't know.
Yep. I think that's exactly what happened. So first of all, they have test vehicles in the production line now. So those vehicles are coming out. And so when you have Giga Shanghai, you have that big of a facility, you can't stop this anymore. You have to get those test vehicles or the early vehicles out and then move it faster. So
am I crazy, or did I also see something about a new variant of the Model 3?
Yep. Rear-wheel drive. Apparently quite the range. Yeah.
So do you think maybe there's something on X? I don't know who or what, or if it's real or not.
It says here, yep, the rear-wheel drive long-range version. Yeah, of course I have it. The rear-wheel drive long-range version of the Model 3 has been officially listed in the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. That's part of the announcement. So yeah, and apparently, I don't know the exact range, but apparently it's pretty, like 270 kilometers or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was going to ask, like, so I wonder if this is good or bad sign for us here in the States as far as a more affordable vehicle. The fact that we haven't seen anything listed with NHTSA or whoever the powers that be would be.
For a more affordable vehicle? No, I see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is,
for anything.
I think there's going to be multiple vehicles. Yeah. There's going to be multiple vehicles. There'll be this one, which is obviously not a more affordable vehicle. Then you're going to have the more affordable vehicles, which I think most of us are agreeing that they're going to delay until Q4. They're not going to announce that until you got the incentives, federal incentives done and over with September 30th.
Really, I think that's a silly idea. What's the benefit of that?
If you introduce a more affordable vehicle today, I think you're confusing the market, as opposed to just keeping it simple that this incentive is going away by September 30th. By now, I My wife wants me to buy a new Model Y. I'm one of those people that is going, oh, September 30th is coming. Do I wait for AI 5 or do I go ahead and pull the trigger now because this thing's going to go away, $7,500? So
And
yeah,
it's funny you say that. I was test driving a Model X on Sunday, I think, maybe Saturday. Um, and that was kind of my thought as well. I was like, don't do it yet, Nick. We can wait 18 months for hardware 5 to come out.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's,
Wait,
you know,
18 months? I don't think it's going to take 18 months for AI5 to come out.
that's what Elon said. He said 18 months for it to be at scale.
From today, or 18 months happened. When did he say that?
I
I think
actually have to have the
AI5
post.
is in
I can
production
tell you.
now. No?
Let's see. So he responded to Mr. Warren Redlet
Yes?
on July 30th, 2024.
Yeah, that
That's
was
a good
last year.
point. That's a
Yep.
good point.
Yep.
And he said AI5, 18 months away from high volume production.
So we're talking 6 months away from now, theoretically, around
Yeah.
that time, right?
So call it a year for now.
Sure. Okay, dude. But no, you can't call a year because what's AI5 used for? It's used for the bots. It's used for the cybercaps. I don't think that is going to be a year from now.
Yeah.
think
Well,
it's
either way,
might-
my whole point was just that I'm also waiting to do something. But my whole
Yeah,
vision
yeah.
has been I want to get my Model Y
Mhm.
to be in the fleet
Yeah.
so then it could pay for itself plus whatever I buy. And if
Yes.
we just break even there, hey, I'm a happy man.
Yeah. I've been telling people I think that my old Model 3 that I bought in 2020 will jump in price to $100,000 in about 2 years from now. If you're able to put if consumers like us can put in our cars into the network, but even if it doesn't expand beyond Austin and California, people will pay me for that Model 3, the old one, so that they can bring it to be part of the network. And then they might make 20, 30,000 per year.
Let me know who those people are, and I might sell mine to them.
Okay. So you're thinking of a little
And I pay for the full FSD up front, so mine's ready to go.
with or without FSC, probably. By the way, people will still pay for it.
Brian, what do you think?
I think that's crazy talk, and I don't see that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I I love the idea. I don't see it happening.
What I'm
What?
saying as far as putting my vehicle into
Oh,
the network or what he's saying?
No, I meant Herbert's
Yeah,
idea that they're going to be worth
yeah,
11
all right.
gajillion dollars.
Well, what do you think
is-
it's going to be? You don't think it's going to jump in price?
No, I think it's going to roll out incrementally enough that the supply will be able to match demand. I don't think there's going to be a single day where there's just a switch flipped and everything is RoboTaxi network ready.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyways. Okay.
I mean, not to say you're not crazy, Nick. It's just about different things.
Well, fair enough.
Tesla cars value will go up. And then you're saying that, okay, depends on how many cities it's available, how many cars do they need, all that. Okay. True.
And there'll be so many people willing to sell for far lower prices. If somebody, even when it gets up to parity with a new car, I don't see it getting above what a new car would be.
Well, fair enough. Good thoughts. That's okay. So that is the new Model Y that's launched. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk RoboTaxi expansion. So they've increased the price now officially to $6.90 per ride. They've expanded the geography. Nice. A lot of it is made about that. You hinted on this, Nick, that there's Tesla cars testing found in Kyle, Texas, which is 20 minutes away from the current geofenced area. 20 minutes away. So last time we saw that is exactly where they expanded. 3 weeks, 2 weeks after they launched the first rollout 3 weeks ago. Now, maybe 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it's not only going to be this funny shape, it's going to become bigger. 20 minutes away. It's possible. So are you guys happy with the expansion and what you're seeing so far? They've updated the app has a lot of new features now where you can see destination, you can change a destination, you can find out where it's going to pick you up, you can give you walking directions to that. The app is a lot more easier to use. Just in 2 or 3 weeks, they updated the app.
A viewer of mine really wanted an opportunity when I was on the road to check out my car. I didn't get a chance to go through that part of South Dakota. She's visually impaired, and for her, RoboTaxi would be a game changer. Well, then RoboTaxi rolls out. She gets in touch with me and says, "Do you know anybody?" And I was able to connect her with Joe.
Joe,
So,
that's you.
so Connie and
Okay.
Joe got
Yes.
to connect and go on a series of rides.
Yeah.
And I think the feedback that she was able to provide from the perspective of someone who can't look at the screen and read it because of the visual impairment will be tremendously helpful for Tesla in terms of accessibility. Just have a setting in your phone that allows you to enable, so that basically everything that's on the screen would instead be read out. That seems easy enough.
I mean, if
even
you have
before
Grok
integration.
installed, right.
Yeah, and with Grok, it would be even better. With Grok, you could just ask an organic question. But even just having a toggle that says any text that goes up on the screen, pump it through the speakers would be pretty foolproof. And they got a bunch of valuable feedback, and it's early, so they can integrate it painlessly. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to roll out with 10,000, 100,000 taxis is if they need to put door open in Braille on the button, they can do it at this point. They could do it tonight if they have the pieces ready. It's I'm excited about it. I'm getting comments from people saying, "Yeah, but Brian, you've been saying that this was solved for years." I said, "No, I have definitely not said that. This is a new version. Version 13 is as close to solved as I thought we would maybe ever get. But this is probably version 14. It's smoother. I had Hans on to talk about it this week, and it is if there was a divider so you couldn't see the front, you would assume that you had not just a human driver, but an extremely professional one based on how smooth and natural it feels. Yeah.
Waiting for Nick.
It's my turn.
Well,
what do you guys think is the whole $6.90? What's that about, Herbert?
Yeah, Herbert.
First of all, so
Can you explain that to me?
Sure.
I can explain it too, but I'll let Herbert go first.
Okay. Well, I'm the expert. I'm just not the expert. Okay. So clearly 420 was a joke in that this was a set price. Connecting the Dots did this great video, and he was this theory that you're going to have a set price, a fixed price, 420, and have zones just like you do in buses. As you go to trains, right? As you hit more zones, you pay 420 times 2 or times 3 or whatever the multipliers would be, and that's how they would price it.
That makes no sense.
And they jumped to 690. Most people don't agree with that. They think that that's absolutely wrong. That's not going to happen. They jumped to 690, so right off the bat, you know that this isn't, that was just a price just to get things going for the pilot, for the early users. I think 690 is also just another one of those temporary price points as they expand the geography. Now the question is, when they expand it one more time, let's say they do include Kyle, they're not going to be able to do $9 or $12, some sort of fixed price anymore. What if I just want to do two miles in downtown Austin? I don't want to pay $9. I can pay the $6, $6.90, but not $9 or $10. So I think at that point, that's when you'll find out. The next expansion is when you will find out what the real pricing strategy will be. Is it a per dollar, which is most likely what it is. It's going to be a per dollar, probably $2 per mile. I'm still of that mindset that it's not going to be equal to Uber and Lyft and Waymo, which is higher than Uber and Lyft. It's not like, oh, we have less cars, we're going to price it, maximum price like they're going to price it cheaper. Maybe not $1 a mile, but they'll price it cheaper, more affordable than those ones. They're going to make a point. Let's say they do $2 a mile. Then as they expand the geography, that's good enough. So that's, yeah.
Okay.
So
thanks for clearing that up. I thought it meant
Yeah.
something else, but
Oh
Well,
no, no, Nick. I'm with you. Some people think it's too high. Some people think it's too low. But
yeah,
in this, everybody's happy. Everybody wins. Everybody gets what they want. Uh, and I just think it's a good number.
good time. All right, I got you.
Hmm.
Yeah, Herbert. I'm obviously more aligned with Brian here on that, but as far as the zones, that doesn't seem to make sense to me because
no.
that's like a lot of things sound good on paper, but in
Mhm.
practice, it doesn't work. And we see like imagine everything demand just stayed in equilibrium, that could work. And buses kind of have that ability because they're set schedule, they can hold a lot of people, but you don't have that when it comes to a ride share. You have surge moments where all of a sudden there's a lot of demand. And when there's a lot of demand, you need to find some way to balance things out. And that's where I think the model breaks if it's just zone based.
I'm going to agree with that completely.
Mhm.
You need granularity to most accurately dial it in. Well, yeah, but buses all cost this. Right. That's for simplicity. That's not for optimization or maximizing profit or increasing utilization during downtimes. Yeah, I'm with you guys 100% on that.
Yeah. Also think that you can have different cars. That's what Uber does, and you have premium, you have, different versions of it, and you can choose, and gives you that flexibility if you do a per mile cost.
So as far as the expansion, I'm kind of mixed. I'm excited that they expanded relatively quickly, but I want to temper my own expectations because they've been prepping for this for a while. So they've probably validated these streets, these roads for quite some time. Maybe they haven't, and maybe they're just now doing it. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what happens when they get into a brand new city and see how fast it goes from there as far as scaling. And even with right now in Austin, like, okay, they did this, humorous joke. All right, but where do we go from there? Like, how fast can we scale from there? Especially since this is arguably the place that you guys have been testing the most. So I think we have 2 data points now, and so far promising. But I think we need to see another couple of data points within Texas, and then we need to see our first couple of data points in a new city, in a new state, to really understand if this
Yeah.
is just Tesla's been in this area for a while, so that's why they were able to expand as quickly as they did, or if they kind of have the same limitations Waymo, meaning they have to validate every street that they go up and down and just have confirmation for them to feel confident. And if that ties back to what Shock was talking about with these kind of more tailored models that are contextualized to the region where they're at. So I think there's a lot to be learned here, and I really hope that during the earnings call, people don't focus on the deliveries and all that. I really hope people stop. If you want to ask questions about the new models, I get that. That makes sense. But this is the first time we can actually dive deep into the RoboTaxi network, and you can actually ask questions without it being a response of, well, this isn't a venue for product announcements. This is the first time we can actually ask detailed questions. How's the rollout going? How many people do you have per vehicle? What's your plan for expansion? What are your current hurdles? What are the interventions looking like? How do you see this? Like, there's so many questions we can ask. Please, for the love of God, everybody, let's ask some good questions, not about deliveries.
Yeah.
Can we get dividends yet? Sit down.
When are you going to put
Exactly.
LiDAR in? So
Buybacks. Yeah.
the earnings call is next week, next Wednesday. Okay. That's exactly when we'll figure out what we're going to do. But I have a theory. My theory is probably going to be wrong, as you guys love to point out, and it's a little bit off there. My theory is that they're going to increase the geography yet again prior to the earnings call. And the reason why they can do that is that when they created this first expansion with this funny shape that they did that just because they wanted to do something funny. And they actually had planned, my theory, a normal expansion. And they're just doing it temporarily to say, this is a case, and then boom, it's going to be bigger. That I'm happy, Nick. I'm so happy. Think about this, okay? They launched this in June 22nd, right? 3 weeks later, they come out and expand the service, doubling it, right? Equal to what Waymo's doing. Actually, 4 square miles bigger than Waymo's doing in 3 weeks. Dude, it doesn't matter how many months it's been, it's still going to be pretty fast. Now, the question is, like you said, that's 2 data points. When is the next expansion? If the next expansion is a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, then you can go, okay, that means that they have issues. But if it happens in 3 weeks, another expansion, which is, let's say, includes Kyle, because we're seeing test drivers there. Dude, that is fast. That is fast. That's expanding the size of Austin. And then we already know, and we've heard that they've got permits in California, that they've got these test vehicles in Monterey, California, that they've applied for to license in Arizona. And I don't think that they're slowing down at all. In fact, I think they're preparing to, slowly, and then suddenly, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I guess my question mark is, how long does it take for them to validate? Like, again, Tesla, or in Texas, it's a little bit of we're playing on our own home field. So we don't know how much validation there's already been there. You can almost say the same thing in California. Like, how long have they been validating ahead of time? Has it been months? Did it take months to be able to get to where we are now? Or was it literally just a few weeks? I don't know the answer to that. And I hope we can get clarity on that.
I'm with Nick on this. Are we? I saw someone say, "Well, right now Tesla's at 3 operators per vehicle." I said, "You definitely don't know that. There is a monitor in the car. There is some number of people at HQ, but that picture you saw from launch day, those weren't remote operators. That was the whole team watching from mission control to see their project come to life. This was the idea that it would be 3 is absurd. Even it might not even be 3 vehicles to 1 operator. We just need to know where it's at, and we don't need to know. We want to know. So,
Yeah, well said.
RoboTaxi expansion happened.
Yeah,
in 3 weeks.
Gorgeous.
Come on. That's the joke that will never end, eh?
It's great. I think this is this is the first earnings call that we're gonna have where you can't just sit there and say it's just a story stock.
Yeah.
It launched, it's alive. We can actually ask questions about it now. It's a great opportunity for us not to suck with our questions.
It is, but we'll see. I mean, we've seen these calls before. Institutional questions have gotten a lot, a bit better. Retail questions have gotten a lot better.
That LiDAR question was...
Yeah. Well, it's what their analysts told them. It's what their team of experts told them. But they don't always... who was it? There's a Chinese company, a big Baidu, said that they are stepping back from LiDAR, from multi-sensor.
The CEO, Robin Lee, came out 2 weeks ago, last week, and he said that we need to rethink our long-held beliefs and that we should go full force with just vision only. So
a lot of things Tesla does are criticized at first and then copied, just like when iPhone got rid of the phone jack. That's so crazy. Who would ever? Oh, everybody did that. It's
keyboard.
Yeah. Steve Ballmer had a good laugh about the idea of a phone without a keyboard. Good luck, Steve, with that project.
So yesterday at the space that I had Stock Talk Weekly bring up something that I thought was very interesting. He said that the moment when investors will recognize RoboTaxi as, a real important contribution to the stock is once Tesla launches to 3 cities. Very, very specifically, he said 3 cities. He goes, once Tesla is able to show that this isn't just 1 city, but 3 cities, that's when the light bulb will turn on to realize that this is, basically a vision-only neural network solving self-driving. If it can do it in 3 cities, it can do it everywhere. And that's his thinking. But it was a good thought. I thought that was interesting. But he specifically said it wasn't about number of cars, right? Some people said, oh, once they get to 2,000 cars, once they have more cars than Waymo, or once they have, I don't know, a certain revenue stream coming in. He thinks no, 3 cities. The argument back is that, well, Waymo's already in 4 cities. In fact, they have 7 cities, but they're actively operating in 4 cities. So, why is this a big deal? But the reason is that this is scalable. You got vision only. It's proven at this point that it's safe as long as there is no major accidents. Then this is the moment when the stock will start to appreciate. What's your reaction to that?
I don't think these are the right metrics. I think the right metric is speed of expansion, not cities. I don't care if it stays in one city. It can stay in Austin, but if it's expanding greater area to the point where all of a sudden we're touching Dallas, all of a sudden we're touching San Antonio, I don't care. Like, it can be in that one place. The speed of expansion, I think, is what will really reflect in the Tesla stock price, because the whole bet has been that Tesla has the right approach for scalability. So Waymo can be in 15 cities with 500 or 5,000 cars, but Tesla can be in technically one city in Austin and almost in San Antonio, almost in Dallas, but they have 20,000 cars. Like, that's a big difference. That shows that they're scaling, they're dominating that market. Now, I don't want it to be that way on how they do it. Like, I want to see the different cities because I want it to come to me sooner than later. But I think the speed of scale is what's going to move the stock, not, hey, you're in this amount of cities. Like, who cares? It's like when people talk about, BYD outsold Tesla. Who cares? What are the margins? Like, at the end of the day, like, who cares? You can
when
sell
you say
50
speed
million
of
cars.
Scale, when you say speed of scale, this is, I did a show where I compared all the dates that Waymo, from 2015, every single month and year of when they actually started to expand and when did they get rid of the safety driver and all that. What is your speed of scale for Tesla to be successful? Is it you already weren't that happy with 3 weeks to expand now? Like, that's slow. That's quick. What is
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
Why do you do that?
I don't know.
I
I
didn't
just trying to
say I
remember what you
wasn't
said 5 minutes ago.
excited. I didn't say I wasn't excited. Those words never came out of my mouth. What I'm saying is it's 2 data points.
Yeah.
We need more data points. 2 data points is a line. It doesn't show you anything. It doesn't show you a trend. It doesn't show you a trajectory. It doesn't show you what type of curve you're on. It doesn't show you anything. It just gives you a slope. That's all. And it doesn't tell you much. So we need more data points. If they keep expanding every 3 weeks into a greater area and their surface area increases, that's going to be meaningful. And honestly, even if it's only like, it doesn't even matter how many vehicles. The coverage area is what I think really matters. How far, because we can always add vehicles, we can always layer in more vehicles.
Right.
But can you say,
Operate.
hey, we feel confident that in all these areas? Because whether you have 15 cars going to all these areas or 100, it almost becomes irrelevant as long as you're not doing any kind of BS in the background that we can't see. So that's how I think. And the reason I feel like they're not doing any BS in the background is because I use it every day here and I'm not anywhere near in their coverage. If it was just Waymo or Cruise or anyone else, I'd be like, I don't know. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, how do we actually know that Tesla's not like, just really handicapping this hardcore? And I was like, wait, what am I talking about? I literally just every day
Take your own car.
I just I just go out and like, so if I'm doing that now and they have even a better version, like, they've got safety and guardrails there with people watching it. But if I'm doing that now with my car and I haven't had an update in almost 6 months, like, what does that say? And so that's what really gives me the confidence.
I agree with that. The big obstacle I saw was prior to the launch, I said, what's it going to do when the red hands of death come on the screen and it says take over now? Will there be enough time to get a message to someone back at HQ to run it? And the answer is no. They don't need to. They'll do the same thing you and I would do in that situation, which is decelerate substantially. When I get sprayed by a semi truck on the highway when it's raining, I just decelerate until I can see again. which is usually about a second, out of an abundance of caution. And that's the kneecapping I see, is an abundance of caution. It says, no, 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 you do it. You do it. I'm
Yeah.
not 100%. I'm in the 99.9 range, but that's not good enough. You take over. And I think we saw Kim Java riding in a RoboTaxi. And when it had a moment where it was directly into the sunlight, it just braked until it could see, until it could get its bearings and continue just like a human would. So that's, to me, the critical difference between the 13 that all of us are driving and the RoboTaxi is that the red hands have been removed and replaced with decelerate until you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Seem fair?
Mm-hmm. That makes a
think
lot of
so.
sense. You don't need those
What,
warnings if it's not supervised anymore.
what's your thought, Herbert, on the scaling question, or if it's 3 cities, or like what's your mental framework?
I like what you just said, which is it's about geography, size, not necessarily a definition of a city per se, right? What's the reason why it has to be a city per se? But it's about geography, expansion of that. That makes sense. I think the proof that they can scale. I really like the way you articulated that. And what does that mean? Proof that they can scale. And because that will then show you that there is no handicapping. There is no, 3 remote drivers per car, just making sure everything is safe. This is a temporary scenario. The number I'm waiting for is when Elon said it might be 2 to 3 months before they can launch in California, and maybe when they can get down to one car, one safety driver, remote driver for every three cars. And what we're talking about there is not like, actively watching it and just be careful. I got to, turn the wheel if I need to. We're talking about somebody that's available for scenarios like, okay, it's like there's a train track and what do we do with this scenario kind of thing, that weird scenarios, if the car may not choose the right decision. So if we can get out of one car or one remote driver for every 3, and he says 2 to 3 months, that is a huge win. Now, that one you might want to handicap and say, oh, it's not 2 to 3 months. That's going to be 6 months from now. That's fair. That's still fast for me.
What I would like to ask both of you, Nick first, and then the audience as well, is what is more important, the size of the area covered or the number of rides? Because I can see value in both answers. So, Nick, you first.
I think size is what matters here. Because I think the rides will come, but the rides won't come if you don't have enough of a reason for people to want to take it with regards to the size.
I can see that. And it's something that the competition isn't doing as much, getting out farther from the, central point. So
yeah, it's scalability, like what Nick was saying, right? So if you have square mile, 2 square miles, and you stick it to that geofenced area, and then you can have like 100 cars, and they're going like, I got 1,000 rides now every single day. Is that better when it's exact same rides over and over and over again, or a huge geography that has many different kinds of rides, many different scenarios, crossing bridges and everything else? That is impressive.
Yeah, so I'm a little biased here because of kind of my background, what I do for work. So I think of, like the reason I don't like the idea of the fixed pricing is because in my world, we sell compute either at spot price, or you can purchase a bulk amount up front at a discount, or you can just have regular market price, right? There's all kinds of ways to consume it, and there's benefit for you, and it's elastic. And the whole reason why cloud became a thing was because of these economies of scale, where sure, you can buy X amount of servers or GPUs, but when I can have 50 other people distribute that cost, and when they're using it, it becomes more economical. And so to me, being able to increase the surface area does a few things. One, it adds to this, even if people aren't taking the rides, that doesn't mean the vehicles aren't moving around, which means they continue to scale in the data set, right? So that's great. But then also it becomes the leverage of the fact that you have more areas that people are willing to ride to. So that scales in your client base and where they will go. And then that also, from the economics of a given vehicle, allows that vehicle to generate more revenue because it will have more rides because it's just more usable. And so I think it's not a binary, but it's this one input allows you to have this series of optionality or benefits from a multimodal way of scaling. So scaling in data, scaling in cost efficiency, and scaling just in your surface area. So I think there's a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah, one long ride's better than 3 short ones. No need to wait, no need to transfer, just keep going.
And again, more people will use it. Like, I mean, it was funny watching when it launched, everybody was going to the same spots. Like, that's not realistic, you know? The reality is people go all over, all different places that aren't the same. And they have different types of places to stop in different parking lots. And sometimes you want to pull into the parking lot, sometimes you don't. You know, sometimes stopping outside the street, even if it's a little unsafe, does make more sense than pulling into the parking lot. Like, sometimes these things make sense, and it's messy. And if you don't have the vehicles out there doing these things, even if there is no rider, then you don't get data. So vehicles without riders is still beneficial for the bigger picture. Just getting riders in the same little test loop, that, yeah, you're getting a couple bucks. You can say you did the thing, but you're not really feeding back into the flywheel for improvements.
All right. Well, RoboTaxi launched on June 22nd. 3 weeks later, it expanded. So far, knock on wood, we haven't heard any major issues. This is, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, pretty good launch. They've expanded. They launched a new app that basically resolved 4, features that people wanted on the first launch. It's there. It's easy. They got it.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. This is not a good launch. This was a fantastic, excellent, borderline flawless launch.
There you go.
For what
I was ready to say that too. I feel that way too. I just wanted to tone it down a bit. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, let's give flowers, where flowers are due. Like, this could have been disastrous. Yes. This could have been a big issue. They chose to not only launch, but with no one behind the steering wheel. No one's done that. They did that. Like, this is in a very big surface area. Like, this is fantastic what they did.
Yeah. Waymo's launch was ironclad NDAs, no cameras allowed. This is, cameras are, we're only going to invite people who we know are going to bring cameras, who we know are going to, and of course, no, but they only invited the people who were going to edit the footage. This guy over here did 4.5 hours live. I don't know how you edit that to show the good stuff. Yeah. And of course, he didn't just show the good stuff. And we know because Dan O'Dowd was very concerned.
Yeah, they caught me my car going 39 miles an hour on the 35 zone. And there was an article written on it, and it was on CNBC.
I was going to say, and if you guys did edit it, you guys should really speak to your editors, because you could have edited out some of the, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Alexander, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Okay, I got you back now.
Sorry. Yeah, that was bad. All right.
And I think you would have found the first RoboTaxi quickly. I don't think you would have been running down some weird back alley to find it.
Well,
in my mind, you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. With the new feature that came now it tells you walking directions to get from where you're at to where the car is going to go. And so this one, like, the sun was, all over. I couldn't see. I'm not wearing my reading glasses. Where am I supposed to go, guys? So half of it is my problem. It was me, user error. But anyways, okay. Yeah. And by the way, that lot where we got picked up, that is where Waymo picks up people too. And it's not this, it's just, it is a safe place that these guys have chosen. And then I was stupid enough to pick the Sweet Greens restaurant that I was standing in to order. It was a terrible place to pick.
Yeah, it was a busy street.
It's a super busy street. No car. Not even if I
did
an
Uber. They wouldn't have stopped there.
They would have made me walk too. So anyways, Grok Grok is now in the cars. This is live. People are receiving it now in their cars and they're playing with it. This guy here said he got Grok, and even Omar got it, and they're playing with it now. It is still very much,
Fake.
it's still not controlling. You're not controlling any controls yet, but it's available, and it's just step one. So this is happening
It's all
now.
fake
What do you
news.
just? Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, I keep checking. I don't have it, so it's all fake
I don't,
news. Until
I don't
get
have it, so I'm going to agree it's fake. I
Yeah.
did get an email
Prove me
telling me
wrong.
that I have it, but to which I
Oh.
said, "Do I?" Because I can tell you I don't. Therefore, verdict is in. It's not real. Oh, well, we had a
Well,
good
Okay,
run.
guys. All right.
At least you got
Well,
the email. I didn't.
okay.
Wow, that's
Pathetic.
disrespectful.
I know.
It's being distributed. It's only, what is it? First of all, only US only. And what is it? Only cars
I'm
that
in the
have
US.
which one?
I'm waiting for
AMD?
my AOL CD.
Look, I'm
It's in the
in the
mail.
US. I've got an AMD chip. Like
Yeah.
I've done all the things.
All right. Did you go? The trick that Omar said was you need to don't wait for it to pop up in your app. You got to go to the car, sit in the car, click on software, and then it will go up and grab it.
Do you really think I haven't done that at least
Okay,
15
fine.
times since that went out?
Refresh. Yeah. All right.
I'll try it after
Do
the
it
show
right now.
ends, but we'll see.
Live stream. Do it right
Okay,
now.
bye.
Live stream.
I literally just swiped to see if I got
No, you
anything
got to
here
go
today.
into your car. Yeah. Walk into your car.
No, I know I have, but it'll only do a push once a day. So
Yeah. Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
you can see what
Um,
time the software pushes. It'll say checking for update.
Yeah.
And then it'll put that time, and then you won't be able to get it to force a push again. Supposedly, if you go to a Tesla showroom,
Yeah.
it'll sync up with the servers there, is what I've heard. I can't validate this, but it'll try to push any updates that are available, supposedly. But I don't know. Everything I've seen, it only pushes once a day.
So just think about what happened in the last several days, right? RoboTaxi was expanded, as we've all been saying. That is the most important signal to Tesla investors. You got Grok in the car now. So yes, it's not controlling the car, but Grok is now in your car. Again, yes, it's going to come. You give it a week or two, everybody will get it. Grok is in your car. They have a new model, a Tesla Model Y. Yes, it's a 6-seater. Nobody's excited about it. It's not the more affordable vehicles. It's not the new segment yet, but they launched a new car, and they have India. Tesla's now available in India. Yes, it's not a gigafactory in India, but they're selling cars in India now. That happened yesterday too. So that part of what I want to say was that, yeah, all these things we were dreaming about just 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, they're here. And yet there's these arguments that, oh, it's still just this and still the small. Yeah, things start that way, always start this way. And then they expand, and then they expand really quickly. But the most important thing is actually it happening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I thought that was a rhetorical question, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we are in such a there's such a disconnect, I think, right now between the stock and everything that's happened. My only interpretation of this is that it's because Wall Street or people are just waiting until after earnings to see what happens, what gets said, to try to risk manage a little bit there. Because as we all know, Elon can say something, for better or worse, he can say something. But we also don't know what the numbers are going to look like, right? So that could also be another thing. Or they might say like, hey, we've decided not to do any new vehicles. We're just going to do right. All those things, it's worth de-risking till after. But in the last 3 weeks, RoboTaxi launches, RoboTaxi expands. We get Grok in the vehicle. We're starting deliveries in India. We got this extended model size. The Tesla deliveries were better than what were expected. Like all these things, and here we are. So it's something. There's some disconnect.
The disconnect I see is people who keep saying this is just another stock pump when all it is a regular announcement. Do you want them to not announce things? Things are going to be announced. And if you've seen Battery Day, Investor Day, AI Day, None of these days move the stock. If you look at the 100 million views on the various reviews at Cybertruck launch, which were all glowing reviews, it didn't move the stock. What is going to move the stock? At some point, fundamentals. At some point, Herbert and I were talking about this earlier. People don't know that these cars can drive themselves. Actually, I don't think that was Herbert. Somebody else.
No, it was me. I was
Okay.
just about to say that right
Yeah.
now. My
People
wife
don't
has been
know.
repeating to me in the last couple of weeks over and over again. How come people don't know these cars? Because these cars drive themselves. Because our car, I've been repeating it so many times. 5 months it's been driving all over Seattle, Portland, Vancouver, Middle Washington State, flawlessly wherever I go. Any place we go, we just went downtown just last night. We go to a restaurant 2 nights ago. Flawless. As far as I'm concerned, it's RoboTaxi ready here in these two states and one province of Canada. These cars are driving themselves. Now, are they ready for RoboTaxi? Is it safe enough? Are they going to launch it here? Okay, but these cars are driving themselves. Like my brother, who has a Model Y too, he didn't even know it, and he's tested FSD. So there's a whole group of people who tested FSD when it was free 6 months ago, a year ago, and they had this experience going, no, I know FSD. I've tested it. It doesn't really work. Test it now. And you have to have the hardware for. If you have the hardware for, then you test it, please. It's a leap forward.
As always, I'm going to duck out a minute or two early here because I'm going to use the restroom and freshen up. But at noon Pacific, when this show concludes, I will be doing an after show where I address some of your burning questions and concerns and comments and all that good stuff. Not to forget, you are welcome to subscribe to Herbert, to Nick, to myself. We simulcast this across all 3 channels in glorious fashion, in full color, because we have the technology. Gentlemen, thank you for everything. And everybody
Thanks,
else,
Brian.
I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Cheers, my friend.
So, Nick, should we talk about the earnings call, which is 1 week today? You kind of hinted on it a couple times.
Sure.
Yeah, is it baked in already? If it is negative, we got the numbers. People are expecting the production delivery numbers.
I think everything that we know is baked in. Talk about stating the obvious. The things that may not be baked in are any potential risk with them saying, hey, we actually decided not to do more affordable vehicles. We're very bullish on RoboTaxi. We've decided to just shift left on the schedule for the Cybercab, and we're going to try to bring those out sooner, and we want to focus our energy to that. I think that's a real possibility that we get something like that, and the market will not like that. As we can see today, they want models. But that doesn't mean it's the right answer, unfortunately. And I think they know internally what the right answer is. Now, the other thing that could be a risk that might not be factored in is the effects of getting rid of the ZEV credits. That's kind of a big deal in many ways, because call it anywhere from 60 to probably more likely around 80% of the ZEV credits that Tesla gets every quarter come from the United States. And so that will be a good portion. Now, an interesting inflection point is that right as RoboTaxis are launching, this could be a nothing burger over the coming quarters if they truly do start to scale RoboTaxi in the way that we think and hope it will. So those are the only real 2 risks that I see. And then again, if Elon says anything off color, if he's in a bad mood, like that's always
whatever
on
he
the table.
decides to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Good
that's
points.
it. Those
The
are
other thing
risks
to
I
keep
see.
in mind for Tesla investors is the annual shareholder meeting. That's already announced to be November 6th. And then that sounds like that I'm pretty confident to say that there's going to be at least 2 major shareholder votes. One is Elon's compensation package. Looks like that's going to move forward. And the second one is whether or not Tesla is going to invest in XAI. Those could be up. And so this could be a very important vote. I don't know if next week they're going to make any announcements on that. But this is a big year. So
Yeah.
and I think that would make the stock jump. If Elon comes out and says, here is master plan part 4, here's my new compensation package for the future, here's what I'm going to make the company do, right? 10 exit, whatever the program is. I think that should make people excited about where the company's going to go. And then he's going to paint the future of how he's going to get us there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know how much he'll be able to talk about it, just because, well, one, the proxy's not out, but also,
that's a good question. So whether or not the proxy drops before then or not, right?
But even if it does, I don't know if he's allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because
it's unlikely. Mm-hmm.
I don't think you
the
can
proxy's
sell.
going to drop in September, is what Alexander said.
Yeah,
mid-September.
So it's not going to happen. Yeah. So now what they might say is that they might say when it's going to drop and what's going to be in it. They might do that. I doubt they'll do that going into this call. They'll have to address the XAI part of it. So to your point, clearly the market liked that, because the market went up and then it went down whenever Elon poo-pooed the idea of an acquisition or a merger, which, again, has been against that from the beginning. Horrible idea. Investment, I'm fine with that, but nothing more. But yeah, the market will like that. And again, look, today's a pretty, I think, bullish day. For last, call it, couple weeks, we've opened up big or start off in the pre-market up big, only to sell off. And we've had a lot of frustration there. Today, I mean, mind you, the market still has another hour to go, but we're at the highs of day right now, which is it shows you, I mean, forget about the stock price itself. It shows you what the sentiment in the market is. It shows you that the market wants to get into this and they want it to move up, but there's something that's keeping them from doing that. Maybe that's Trump. Maybe that's the relationship there. They don't want to get rug pulled again because Elon gets upset about something. I kind of think that's a little bit behind us, at least for now. I think right now the fear is what happens on the earnings call. And I think if we get past those two things and RoboTaxi really starts to move and scale and get put into other cities, and we do get new vehicles, which, again, I don't really care about, but I do think the market needs it in a weird way. And I think at a certain point, you do have to listen to the market and what the market's asking for. And I don't mean the market by Wall Street. I mean the demand from the people, right? People want more affordable vehicles. And there's a huge segment to be had there. Just like with robo-taxis or just ride hailing in general, as you lower down the price, the demand doesn't go up linearly, it goes up exponentially. Same with vehicles. If you can have a more affordable vehicle, you increase your total addressable market. And I think that's important for Tesla. So we're at an interesting point. I'm pretty optimistic about where we're at. Again, I have a lot of leaps on right now. You don't really do that unless you're pretty bullish. I haven't bought leaps in almost 5 years, and I have them now. So that doesn't mean I'm right. I've been wrong plenty of times.
Just sharing your thinking. I like the way you position that, which is it's what happened to the more affordable vehicles. They're going to have to address it because it's no longer the first half of this year, right?
And that could be a big risk.
Time frame. That could be a big risk, or they could just simply say it's still on track, right? We'll launch it in the second half of this year. But be curious what they might do, right? If they did increase the geography on Sunday, prior to like literally this Sunday,
I think
my theory is it's unlikely, very unlikely. But if my theory is correct,
that they will.
Oh, okay. Like, so
I'm confident
this shape
they are.
that they have now was there just for fun. And then they really were intending to make it, like a square shape, whatever it is, like, a little bit more for the purpose of actual usability. Then if I was right there, then they could theoretically just turn it on Sunday.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if it'll happen Sunday or Monday or whatever, right? This expansion actually happened on Monday. It didn't happen on Sunday.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. I was assuming that they always try to do on Sundays because that's the safest day to launch something.
I think it came out at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something on Monday is when
I see.
maybe it was
Yeah.
on Sunday, Texas time by like 30 minutes or something like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I was up all Sunday night on the East Coast here, waiting to say, come on, drop it, drop it. But I'm with you. I think they saw an opportunity to make a funny joke
Yeah.
into a expansion that they were already going to do. And I think the thought process was like, why don't we make a funny joke, technically expand a smaller area, which will allow us to test that even further before we open up into the rest of the area we're going to do. I kind of think that's what's going to happen.
That could have been the case.
And
Yeah.
it's a double benefit because it makes it appear as if they're expanding even faster. Yeah. So perception matters a lot. So I do think they're going to expand again before the earnings call. Or the day of. I really do think that's what's going to happen. I hope. I mean, I'm an optimist here, but
the risk is that if they expand and something happens, right? And so you're taking a risk, but they're pretty confident. They can
no
do that.
bigger
It
risk
can happen
than
anywhere. It can happen.
No bigger risk than the first time you launch. So I think the biggest risks are behind them. The biggest risk will be in the first time they launch in California, the first time they launch in Arizona. Those are the next big risks. In Texas, I don't see big risks anymore. Now, it's not revolutionary. It's evolutionary now. In California, when they first launched, that'll be revolutionary. Arizona and Florida. And after they do that initial launch, it'll be evolutionary from there, which is a big deal.
Seeing those test vehicles in Kyle, Texas, which is 20 minutes away, I think 30 miles away from the downtown core where the geography is right now, that is huge. That shows you that they might expand there. And if they do, that is like, boom, that's a massive increase in geography.
Well, that's what will be a bigger deal is if they go from the initial size they had, the expansion was essentially the same size, right? Let's just call it roughly equal. But if they go all the way down to Kyle, including everything else, they literally just increase their coverage by over 100%.
Yeah.
And the truth is that is how it should happen because the hard part is Austin. As you go wider, it becomes more suburbia, which is much easier to navigate. Much easier, way easier, less complex. So that should validate a lot faster. Yeah, way safer. The complexity is in the city. And so if you start in the city and work your way out.
Well, then you have to ask, why did Waymo not do this if they could? That's why the whole point. You have to show that this is different. Yeah.
I think Waymo has a lot of limitations is why.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
We don't see all those limitations. I think there's a lot of over reliance on hardware and people. I mean, it's working; they're doing it, but I can also, China can also sit there put 1,000 people to do a job, where here in the States we can't do that. So here in the States we have to leverage software, robotics to do the same job with less than 1,000 people. So we're taking two different approaches, but one is truly scalable.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nick. Thanks, everybody. Stick on. We'll get to transfer it over to Brian's channel. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Cheers, everybody.